I love my sons who are adults, 28 and 33. However, I have not enjoyed motherhood. I started out as a teen mom. That my son's father never really played a part in his life. Then I got married. I was in an abusive relationship and then got a divorce.
It's really difficult to enjoy motherhood when it starts in survival mode. Those early experiences shape the entire foundation of her parenting. All of this is real, it's painful, and it's not her fault.
She probably shielded you from the abuse and took the brunt of the abuse herself. She may have stayed in that abusive relationship to make sure you had a roof over your head.
But the thing is, when a mother suffers, the children still absorb the environment that she's suffering in. Children don't have to be physically abused to be traumatized. They witnessed the abuse. They grew up in an unstable, chaotic home. That's traumatic. Her intentions may have been survival, but her children learn fear, anger, resentment, and emotional unpredictability. That shows up years later, especially in adulthood.
Or kids don't have to be here when you fought very hard to be here biologically.
This is where her trauma is speaking, not logic. Children do not choose to be here. They don't choose their home environment. Children don't choose chaos, partners, abuse, or instability. Comparing a grown adult making relationship mistakes to a child that's shaped by trauma is not equal. Adults make choices. Children adapt to the environment that was created for them. That adaptation becomes their trauma.
It's quite diabolical for you to blame your mom for staying in an abusive relationship. Maybe she was abandoned by her father, and she thought this person loved her because that's who they showed up as initially.
And this is where the accountability disconnect starts. Nobody is blaming her for being abused or thinking that someone loved her. Nobody is blaming her for trying to keep her family together with the tools that she had. Acknowledging your children's pain does not mean blaming the mother. Two truths can exist. She stayed because of survival and limited support. Her children were emotionally shaped by the environment that was created by her choices. Shielding children physically does not shield them emotionally. Children feel everything long before they're even able to understand it.
That's a chemo port scar. I am definitely confident that my level of stress raising my children by myself and constantly being overstimulated, constantly being in survival mode, constantly being stressed out, yeah, that elevated my cancer diagnosis in 2022. And same year, my younger son, the one that I'm estranged from, that's hella disrespectful and unappreciative, that said I was only at the hospital to watch him die because I wanted to collect insurance money. Yeah, I got diagnosed with cervical cancer at the same time.
To me, this is the most revealing part of the entire story. A child, especially a son who just woke up from a coma, doesn't say that you just came to watch me die so that you can collect the insurance money. This is not guilt tripping, manipulation, or immaturity. This is a deeply wounded person speaking from years of pain. Statements like that come from long-term emotional distress. This child probably felt unprotected, emotionally abandoned, and he resented her for that. This comes from trauma that has probably never been acknowledged. It's likely the result of what he has experienced.
If you have grandchildren that are 11 plus years old, first of all, you know they have phones. You know they have ways to communicate with you if they so choose to. 11 plus years old. First of all, they're old enough to establish their own relationships with you if they wanted to.
This expectation is another emotional blind spot. Children, especially those that are 11 years old, only know their grandparents through the lens of their parents that's raising them. If she's estranged from her son, then of course the child's mother isn't going to be encouraging a relationship. That child shouldn't be responsible for bridging the gap alone. Placing that kind of emotional labor onto a child is likely the same pattern that affected her relationship with her own children. A grandparent must be the initiator, the safe space, and the consistent one. When you put all these pieces together, the pattern becomes clear. She experienced abuse, trauma, abandonment, and hardship, and all that is valid. But her entire narrative centers her pain, not her children. She interprets accountability as an attack, and her children's wounds are ingratitude. She interprets reflection as disrespect and survival as the whole story. But the reality is, a parent's trauma doesn't erase the child's trauma. Her suffering doesn't cancel out theirs. A parent can have the best intentions, but that doesn't negate the child's experiences. This isn't about judging her, it's about understanding how trauma passes through families. The goal isn't to blame parents, it's to break the cycle. Healing isn't just about distancing yourself from people who hurt you. Healing is understanding and acknowledging the people who hurt you may have been hurting too.